What's up, everybody? It's John Roche here from Everyday Gaming, doing a box opening for the somewhat new Heroes of Exandria Critical Role UniVersus set. Set came back out in March, and we got our hands on a booster box and want to do a quick opening just to kind of check out some of the cool stuff that's coming from UniVersus and the team up with Critical Role. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and open up this whole booster box. 24 packs per box, 11 cards per pack. So, go and dive in. It's been a while since I've played UniVersus, or its previous iterations of the game. This is the box topper for the Briarwoods. I believe this is designed for like player versus like kind of common enemy type situation. So I'm excited to open these packs, dive into them. First pack, let's see what we get. Okay. Like I said, I haven't done a lot of research yet, so everything here is going to be new to me. So, I've seen a lot of this Everlight's Grace using Pike Trickfoot. So, from what I understand, this is actually going to cover at least campaigns 1 and 2. There's a Scanlan Shorthold, Devious Troubadour. Shiny Enchanted Weapon featuring Lady Kima. So, as a huge Critical Role fan, this seemed like a something I really wanted to get into and had a chance to check out this awesome art. All right. Shikasta. Again, cool thing about Critical Roles, a lot of great voice actors and guest stars. Shikasta there was played by Kari Payton on stream, so a lot of cool stuff seeing here, a lot of familiar Critical Role famous moments. Okay, Healing Spell with a nice Jester art. Lady Kima Avord, nice. That's a shiny card. Says rare. Expel Bolt featuring Ford. Yeah, there's Shikasta. Ooh, nice Yasha Norden, Orphan Maker, Campaign 2, played by Ashley Johnson. And a Scanlan's Hand, and it's foil, so I love Scanlan, love him and his constant use of making magical hands. Nice Rest. A Day of Relaxing. Ooh, that's really nice art. I wish I knew a little bit more about the actual gameplay for UniVersus, because I could talk more about if these cards were good or not. But, this is going to be a good reason to jump back into it. And I think that's what we're seeing with a lot of Critical Role fans that maybe not be card players, but are using this as an opportunity. If it's not just to collect cool art and Critical Role merch, it's to, get into the gaming space. So I think that's what you're going to see a lot of. I've already seen a lot of hype from Critical Role fans who've never played card games or have been lapsed card players jumping in to get this really cool, collab with UniVersus. And they've been doing a lot of, nice set collabs since, working through My Hero Academia. Now they're doing things like Critical Role, King Kong. I think they did a Trigun set. So, very cool to see a bunch of nerdy ass voice actors sit there with those IPs, right? Don't want this video to take an hour, so I might go a little bit quicker through these. Try not to spaghetti them all over. Another Ford, Seas Champion, Lightning Blast. Those feel like I've been opening forever, and it's like I look over that pile and I still have a lot of packs there, Dan.
Trust me, I know the feeling.
Goblin Bolt. Beauregard Lionette, played by Marisha Ray, Campaign 2. Golden Battling. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't follow Critical Role, it is a group of famous voice actors playing Dungeons and Dragons. They've been doing it now for 10 years. The set is actually part of their 10-year anniversary celebration, which you can actually, I'll show that off after. It's on the pack art. Kind of just another way to celebrate this amazing group of people who has done so much for just not just the gaming community, but just the community, like the nerd culture community at large. Jared Howarth. Gotta have treasure chests. So I'll show that off right there. Yeah, I got the 10-year anniversary of Critical Role this year, so that's what we're celebrating with this awesome booster. They did 2 starter decks last year, and that was the first kind of collab with Critical Role and UniVersus, and obviously there was a lot of people excited and wondering like, oh, you're gonna do more, you're gonna do a full set, and they kept it really under wraps until right around when the 10-year anniversary was announced. And this is, I believe, one of the first anniversary products. We got a Caleb Widowgast, Campaign 2, played by Liam O'Brien. Bellow of Rage, Grog Strongjaw, getting angry. About halfway through. Now, I don't know much about the game mechanics, but as far as like hits that we're looking for, they did something really cool with this set. There are serialized 1 through 100 versions of some of the voice actors' characters.
Chrome cards.
Yeah, chrome plated, signed stamped by the voice actors themselves. So I'm assuming cards like this, Jester Lavore, would come, stamped with Laura Bailey's signature on it. Harness Undeath, Lady Briarwood. But yeah, Critical Role doing a lot of cool things. Got their animated series have been doing really well over on Amazon. Plenty of merch. Got their own games coming out. Campaign 3 just ended, so they're gearing up for Campaign 4. Like I said, so far from what I've seen, it looks like this set is very focused on campaigns 1 and 2. I haven't seen any of our familiar faces from Bell's Hells yet, which just means they have more material to work with, right?
Yeah, based on the box cover art, it just looks like Mighty Nein and Vox Machina.
Yeah, there's Grog Strongjaw.
Yeah, standing on the cliffside before the hooded DM.
Alright, last pack of the first half. I do like, from what I've seen, again, this is probably familiar with most people who play UniVersus, these are kind of like your starter cards. Like you build your decks around these, like, in this case, adventurer card, or like, but it seems like you get one in every pack, so it's not like it would be a hard thing to get your deck going and play the one you want. Like if you open a box, I've seen probably one per pack for 12 packs. I think we saw at least 9 different ones. So I think you'll have a pretty, widespread range of which decks you can play. From people I've talked to, this set is very much designed to play, obviously, in itself, but also is still completely interacting and uses the same symbols and mechanics as all the other sets. There we go with a Mollymawk Tea Leaf. Gravity Well, featuring Essek. Pretty cool.
That was one of the things that the UFS system, which became UniVersus, did. Was they had different IPs like Cowboy Bebop, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Mega Man, and each set was independent. It was its own IP, but you can play a Ryu character deck with Mortal Kombat cards in it, and Mega Man upgrades when you buy those boxes. So it's always cool just to like have all those IPs meshed together in one deck.
Pretty cool stuff so far. Yeah, I do look forward to, after getting a chance to open some of the product, getting to sit down and actually, relearn the game. I learned it probably, a few years back and haven't had a lot of time to mess around with it. But now with an IP like Critical Role, something I'm very passionate about, definitely a reason to check it out again and dive into it. There's Pumat Soul, played by Matthew Mercer, one of the shopkeep owners.
We originally learned UFS back in 2018?
Probably something like that. Yeah, it was at Gen Con. Yeah. Did a demo. That was right around when they were doing their first relaunch, right? With, focusing in on My Hero Academia as their main IP.
No, that
was that right after?
2019, I believe it was.
Okay.
Was the soft relaunch. Yeah, at that Gen Con they had the Deku and Bakugo demo decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game wouldn't relaunch until in the middle of COVID.
Well, excited that they're doing well and well enough to branch out into other IPs. Like I said, I think the last couple of years they've definitely done a lot more of things like this, where it's not just My Hero, it's a lot more of kind of what their roots were, which is branching out into a bunch of different IPs and letting you kind of get these very weird battle scenarios of who would win in this one-on-one fist fight with Deku from My Hero versus King Kong or Godzilla, or now Scanlan Shortholds, because the bard with the heart of gold. It's not what I want to say, but I'm not sure what I can say anymore, so I'm not gonna say it. Sean Gilmore, he doesn't care what he says.
No, he doesn't. And neither does Scanlan.
Neither does, no. Pike Trickfoot. Nice. He would like to rage. Very shiny. Good old Tavern Brawl. Getting to the nitty gritty here. Last couple packs. Exploring Mon. Keg. Played by Ashley Birch, if I remember correctly. Keyleth the Airshari, main cast member for Campaign 1, played by Marisha Ray. Tusktooth's Crew. Again, I'm trying really, really hard not to drop things. That is a really cool Yasha art. Very clad Sean Gilmore. Healing Spell. Nice Jester Lavore. I think that's actually the same art used on the graphic novel for her backstory. Sir Tyrion Darrington. I got the starter decks eventually too, so I'm looking forward to sprucing those up with some of these extra cards and getting a couple games in with this UniVersus Critical Role stuff. Last couple packs, 3 packs left. Still no serial cards. I have no idea how rare they are or how many of them are.
Might honestly just be like every other card game where it's like 1 per case.
That's probably fair. Oh, there's a Loravi Sword. Main NPC of Campaign 1. one of the very few characters actually in Critical Role that appears in all 3 campaigns. Esecthalis. Spell Seal. Yeah, these arts, I like to see what they're doing because it's a lot of obviously original art, but they're also reusing art from other like projects. So like I said, I thought some of the art was from like the comic books and the graphic novels that they've done. I've seen a couple of pieces of art from this that are reusing from what were they? They were like stickers from Pin Club that they were giving out with purchase. So making use of a lot of good stuff. Caduceus Clay and Keeping Alert. And Daring Swordplay. So that's it for our 1 box of Heroes of Exandria from UniVersus, the Critical Role expansion. Thank you all for watching, and look forward to seeing other content with maybe some of this Critical Role stuff and future sets coming out.